Welcome back to Both Sides of the Barricade. This week we have a very special guest, Miss Charlotte Lee, aka ELIO. She's
Hi.
a singer-songwriter from Toronto. She just released her sophomore EP, Can You Hear Me Now? Congratulations, by the way. And she released her debut EP last year. Charlotte, is there anything you'd like to say before we start?
No, hello. How are you? I have my cat here. She's very excited for this interview. It's very exclusive for her.
Well, we love to have her here. So I like to start the episodes with a little bit about like if I've met the guest, then I talk about that. But we just recently connected through social media. So if you'd like to describe a little bit about your relationship with your fans, because usually I'm a fan of the guests that I have on. This week is no different. So if you'd like to share a bit about how you interact with your fans and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of weird because I've never been on tour or anything. I started releasing music in March last year, which was like right when the pandemic kind of kicked off. So yeah, I mean, all of my interaction with fans and stuff has been on Instagram and Twitter, and I've literally never met a single fan. It's so crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. I mean, I knew that you had just recently started releasing, but yeah, to think that you've never toured or anything, that's so weird. I mean, a lot of artists coming up now, that's the case, and that's so strange. I wonder, like, are you excited to then get out on tour once shows come back?
I'm so excited. I literally had a dream about it the other night, and it made me so sad to wake up.
Please, I have dreams about going to concerts all the time, and it's so sad. Oh my God, not again. I mean, that's like the only way to go to shows these days is in your dreams. So
I know. Ugh.
So I'd love to know a little bit about your relationship with music growing up and a little bit about how you gravitated towards it, maybe once you were like a teenager, that kind of thing. But, what did you grow up listening to? And then what did you end up listening to when you started developing your own taste?
I mean, I kind of grew up listening to a whole bunch of things. My grandparents are my grandpa's super musical, but he listens to a lot of classical music. And I grew up going to operas and stuff that he would put on. I listened to a lot of just what was on the radio, I think, growing up. Further on, I think probably grade 7 or 8, I started listening to Radiohead and George Harrison and a lot of alt rock or indie bands. And yeah, I made a band in high school, which is a shoegaze rock band. I got really into that for a few years. And then first year university, I want to say, I discovered the 1975. And I heard Girls for the first time and I was like, oh my God, I didn't think music could sound like this.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I just got thrown right back into pop music central, and I've been trying to write pop songs since, and it's been really fun. I really love it.
Oh, love the 1975, I must just say. Also, your speaking voice is so calming. It's like so nice to listen to. I just wanted to say.
That's so funny because I always think people always think I'm mad when I talk over the phone. If they can't see my face, they're always like, "Are you upset right now? What's wrong?" It's just monotone.
It's so calming. I was like zoning out. I'm like, oh, this is so nice. I'm a
Oh
big
my
like
God, thank
ASMR
you.
listener. You'd be really good at ASMR, I think.
Oh, new career path.
Oh yes. So, what was your first concert? I always like to ask that question.
To be honest, I'm not sure. I think I grew up in the UK and I really love this band Busted. They're this 2000s boy band. And I think that might have been my first show. I think so. But I've been going to concerts since I was probably 5 or 6. So
Yeah.
um
You
I
mentioned
can't
operas.
fully remember. Yeah, I mean if that counts as a concert, I guess probably that, but we're just not gonna count that because that doesn't have much street cred to it.
They always look like fun. I mean, not fun, but they look interesting. Like it looks like something I would have. Oh my God, the yawn. I'm
I
looking at
know,
her.
you're
She's
tired.
so cute. So yeah, you mentioned your band in high school. Was that kind of your first intro into making music? And what were your influences for that? Because you said it was a shoegaze project.
Mhm. I mean, yeah, that was the first time that I really made songs that I knew people were gonna hear. And it was, oh my God, you're so tired.
A calming
It
voice.
was, it had saw me. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was probably the first actual songs that I wrote, and um I don't know. I was kind of listening to like trying to think at the time, like this band Dive. I really liked Tame Impala, Father John Misty, just kind of that world of things. And yeah, it was good. I think it really helped me kind of write more interesting pop songs and like include like different genres and stuff into like what would be kind of a regular pop song.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of lyrics for pop songs are very like, generic a lot of the time. And I think that incorporating other genres with like really deep, meaningful songwriting, like shoegaze or, even alternative in general, I think that that's always creates more interesting pop music. So I can definitely see that.
Mhm.
And would you consider yourself a stan? Like a big fan of any artist specifically?
Um, yeah, definitely a few. I'm definitely a 1975 like well, I'm not like a personal. I like their music. I don't
Yeah.
really know like a lot about them as people, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Taylor Swift stan. I can say I'm a Taylor Swift stan. She's my mom.
Ugh, love her. I feel like, and it's so cool because I feel like a lot of the like young female pop artists that I talk to or that I follow, like a lot of them say that Taylor Swift is like a huge inspiration for them. And I think that's so like, I mean, we know that she has such a crazy musical impact on like this generation, but it's
Mhm.
crazy to hear like so many people saying that now because I feel like it's getting to the point where young artists are now finding inspiration in artists that like I still think are young. So it's really cool to see like the influence that's slowly like trickling down to like a new generation of artists. But Taylor especially, I hear that all the time.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah,
Um, I hear it in almost every single interview. People say Taylor Swift, and I'm like,
yeah.
yes, I can say this now. And I don't have to lie and say something cool. Not
Do you
that she's
have
not cool, but
do you have like a favorite album or song? It's hard to pick a single song because she has so many, but
I think I really loved Reputation.
yeah, me too.
But I think Red is like I always come back to Red. I love that album.
Yeah, it just has so many classics, but I loved Reputation too. I feel like that one is a little, I don't know about underrated, but I feel like people didn't love it when it first came out. But I think now people are like, Reputation is one of her best. So
Yeah.
I definitely am one of those people. Your career is very interesting because you said, you started out basically when quarantine started. So how has that kind of affected the course of your career in specific ways? You said with touring and anything else.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a whole I don't know what a normal like start of a career would be.
Yeah.
But just before the pandemic like happened and when we were releasing, like gearing up to release My Friends Online, we had like some shows planned and it was very chaotic. It was a lot. And I feel like as much as being home like kind of sucked it, I think it was really great that I had time to kind of write almost every single day and like have as much music out as I do now because I don't think this EP would have come out like so soon after the first one if I had to kind of tour the last one
Yeah.
and still travel and stuff like that. So it's definitely enabled me to like write a lot more than I would have, but it also feels like very weird in terms of like connecting with people because it's like I literally I don't know. I don't know, like other than Zoom, I've I've not really like actually like had any interviews or had any like fan interactions or shows other than like online. So I think there's definitely pros and cons to it, but you know what? It worked for me. I'm here.
It's like the epitome of pop music today and artist discovery. I mean, everything is online. So I think by any means that you're behind. It's just so different now with
Mhm,
everything like kind of being forced online versus, before it was just, a couple meetings here and there, but now it's like that's really the only option. And I
mhm.
think that'll be really interesting when things come back to see if that really changes like a crazy amount. I think that keeps us from actually, truly interacting with people. I love meeting people in person. I love going to shows and meeting artists after, meeting fans in line and making friends and that kind of thing. So I wonder how quickly if that'll be able to come back, because I really do miss that aspect of
I
it.
know.
Has any influx of social media, do you think that's helped you a lot with gaining a fan base as much as maybe touring would have?
I mean, in some aspects for sure. And I think like the first single I released was almost perfectly timed.
Yes.
So I think like the context of my music right now like really allowed people to connect with it more.
Yeah.
Because I think like on like an average day, maybe obviously I travel a lot, so I'm away from like my friends and my family and my boyfriend and stuff. So I know I can relate to that, but I feel like the average person doesn't really spend, months away from their base. But yeah, I feel like that kind of allowed people to connect with it a bit more. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a connection with touring, I think, and playing shows and getting out there and meeting people in person that is it's a little bit more of like a forest fire where like it can kind of just really like
Yes. Yeah.
catch fast. Whereas like I think now it's like, everybody's releasing music a lot because nobody else has anything better to do. And
Yeah.
it's kind of just like, as much as it's really great and I'm like really happy that I can do this. It's like everybody's doing it. So trying to get people to connect and have the time and space and emotional energy to like sit down and listen to a song is actually quite hard.
Have you discovered a lot of new artists over quarantine?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I'm honestly really bad at finding new artists. I honestly think it's like an artist thing where like I love music and I love when I find a new artist that I love, but like
Yeah.
I rarely go out of my way
Yeah.
to find a new artist. And it sucks because like in high school that's all I would do. But yeah, no, I've definitely found like some artists that I think have also like really helped me kind of get through being stuck in my house.
For sure. I think that's interesting that you say like it's an artist thing, because I find that to be very true too. When I talk to artists, there are some of them, of course, who are interested in finding new music because they're obviously obsessed with music. But when I think about like how much fans are always searching for new music on like social media and YouTube, at least that's what I always did. It's so different because I have no musical talent whatsoever. I'm in school for music business, so I want to work in the music industry, but certainly not as an artist. So I do think it's very interesting to see the difference between how much like artist discovery matters to someone like me, because I'm always looking for new artists, and then for
Mhm.
artists where they're more focused, of course, on making their own music. But it's very interesting that you say it's an artist thing, because it's true. I see that all the time. So how do you envision your career as an artist going? I mean, of course, everything's very unsure right now, but if you had like a goal for like short term or long term, any like collaborations or personal goals, what would you say?
Just releasing music, and as long as I can keep making cool things. I really want to go on tour like next year.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, right now I'm just like having fun, kind of like releasing things. Because for so long, it took so long to release the first EP. Now I can just kind of like throw songs out there and it's really great. I think maybe like an album and a tour next year would be really nice.
Yeah. Oh, that would be exciting. I cannot wait for shows to come back. I feel very like right now hopeless is kind of the word. Like I had so much hope at the end of last year, but now I'm like and just in a like a lull where I'm like, yeah, it's just never coming back. But, especially because I'm graduating from college this year, and so I have to start looking for jobs in the industry, and I'm like, they're kind of few and far between, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely hope for a lot of artists' sake, and it's so unfortunate because there's so many people who are now discovering your music and so many other smaller artists, and they want to see them live. Like I can't even tell you how many songs I've heard this past year where I'm like, I cannot wait to hear that live. So,
Mhm.
and your EP is of course one of them. I'm just so excited for shows to be able to happen again. I have some questions that I thought of, like interview style questions. So I said, your sound has been compared to the likes of Lord, the 1975, Ariana Grande, and more. How do you feel about these comparisons and comparisons in general? Like, do you find them annoying or complimentary?
I love those. I adore those because
Yeah.
all of those are like my top artists. But I think I definitely like them if they're kind of like referenced sporadically and kind of all over the place. Like I love the 1975 with Ariana Grande because like what is that combination?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it depends. I mean, I would never want to sound like exactly like another artist, although it's pretty hard to do these days. But also, I love all those artists. So yeah, just as long as I like them, keep it coming.
Especially the 1975. I mean, oh, love them.
Adore.
Oh, and what was it like starting to work with Charli XCX? What has the most beneficial advice or wisdom she has passed on to you been?
I mean, Charlie is really great to have on the team just because she gives so much great like songwriting advice.
Mm-hmm.
I think like that's where I find like the best like assets for her. So I can just like send literally like 5 demos and I'll be like, tell me honest opinion, what do you think of these? And she will literally just say it as it is and I can accept it as it is. I think it's really worked out. My song like When You Saw Love, she was like, you can do a better chorus than this. And I was like, all right. And then I wrote the chorus, which is literally one of my favorite
Yeah,
choruses. So yeah, I mean, she's amazing. She's literally one of the best songwriters of our generation. So it's like
agreed.
great to have her on the
Yeah,
team.
she is amazing. Like the fact that you can send over like your work and get, feedback from someone like her, like she obviously has made so many amazing songs. Like that's really incredible. And I think it of course helps to push you to even further your own songwriting skills. So that's really great too. But yeah, she's
Yeah.
amazing. Okay, what was the most rewarding slash exciting song to create on Can You Hear Me Now, and which was the hardest?
Charger probably was the most rewarding. It's definitely like the one that I wrote and I was like, oh, I don't know if I could put this on the EP. Like I left the studio the day we wrote it and I was like, it's just like not personal enough, like all of my songs are about very specific situations or relationships and stuff like that. And Charger was just kind of about like this thing that I related to, but like not in a crazy personal sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of just like sat on it and I really liked the song. I thought not every pop song has to be groundbreakingly relatable and sad. And I honestly think it's like one of my favorite songs. We were really able to like push ourselves in production because there wasn't really any down moment where I kind of just had to be like mellow and sad. And then the hardest, probably maybe in real life at ELIO.IRL. It's my Instagram handle.
Yeah.
Um, I think that one, I mean, it wasn't hard per se. I think it's just about a lot of things. The bridge is kind of like about like this year and being kind of stuck in slow mo. And then the rest of the song is about like learning to manage my relationships and my career and stuff like that. So definitely a lot of crap to talk about and also make sound good. So yeah. But I love them both. And I think both of them kind of had to be on the EP in order for the EP to have like the dimension that it does.
Of course, yeah. I thought that that was a really clever song title for it too. So I did have a question about your shoegaze band. I wanted to know what the main differences have been in becoming a solo act and writing more like pop songs.
I mean, definitely, I don't have to compromise anymore because I'm not in a band,
Yeah,
which allows a lot of kind of artistic freedom in that sense. And honestly, I think the main difference is production. Like I used to just sing it on a guitar and then that'd be it. I'd record it on a guitar. There'd be drums, there'd be a bass, nothing else. And I think a pop artist, there's so much more that I'm able to do. Like if I want a guitar, I can have a guitar.
yeah,
But if I want a bass synth, I can have a bass synth or an ARP or like anything, like it's not just like a rock band. I can have like a Fabric and also like a rock ending on Jackie Onassis or just like a straight up pop song like Charger.
yeah. No, I love that. I'm such like a perfectionist too. I think that I would be so, and I'm a bit of like a control freak. Like I'm definitely like has to be the way I want it to be. So I definitely can attest to that. And it's like working on
Yeah.
a team project. Like you don't want to deal with other people. It's
So
like
bad at it. I'm so
yeah,
bad at it.
I'm the same way. Okay, one more question. Is there an artist that you look up to career-wise, someone that you think does every aspect of being an artist very well? Not so
Oh
much the
god.
music, but like their career.
Oh, career. Honestly, can I say Taylor Swift?
Yeah, would be a great
um
answer.
Yeah, I mean, I think as like not only a music, she's an incredible songwriter, but I think as like a businesswoman.
Yeah.
She's so smart. But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna full stand myself and say Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Something I love about Taylor too. I love when any artist does this where they drop like little hints here and there for like fans.
She's so good at that.
Yeah, yeah. I love
Oh my
that.
God.
I think it's so fun.
The planning that must go, like it must be years in advance.
Exactly. Yeah. I think like Halsey does the same thing. Like
Yeah,
for her like album rollouts, she always does these little like teaser things for fans to like find. And that's just always exciting. Like it's something that adds to like, especially now because you can't go to shows or do any like signings or things like that. It's so fun to like just throw like here's like a random website that has like a teaser of a song. Like that's always really fun. So I would definitely
for
say that
sure.
too. So now I have this little song association game where I just ask a question and you just answer with.
Oh, I've seen videos of people doing this, and I'm so bad at this.
Oh,
Okay,
don't
I'm
worry.
set.
It's not like you don't have to sing, you don't have it's not like a word. I just have okay, so for example, what is a song you wish you wrote?
All Too Well by Taylor Swift. God, I'm really
Yep, yep. A very fair answer. What is a song you'd want to feature on?
maybe like POV by Ariana Grande.
Another classic.
I feel like I would literally get sung under the table, but I would love every second of it.
I know. I don't know how I would ever like compare to her voice. It's crazy.
How do people feature with her? I don't get it. Like,
I
do
don't
you
know.
just cry?
Yeah. Like the only way to do it, like I do like the 3435 remix with like Megan
Mm-hmm.
Thee Stallion and Doja Cat because like they all do their own thing and they're not
Mm-hmm.
like, but if it was two vocalists, like, oh my God, yeah. I
Yeah.
certainly would not be able to compare. Okay, name a favorite song with a great music video.
Heather by Conan Gray.
Another good one. Yeah, some people aren't big music video fans. Like they don't watch a lot of them, but I mean, I just remember like going to like the computer room like in my house when I was a kid like and watching YouTube
I'm
music videos
obsessed
all the
with
time.
music videos.
Yeah. I feel like they really add to a song too. I feel like people don't take them seriously sometimes and I'm like you could really do something cool here.
Yeah, I feel like it's also like another like dimension of the song,
Yeah.
especially with that one, because like Heather is about like this like popular girl in his high school or something like that, and then the music video is just him turning himself into Heather. It's so great.
The most recent video I watched, I actually rewatched the All American Rejects Dirty Little Secret music video
Oh my God.
like yesterday. I'm like obsessed with that song again. I don't know what it is, but I love that music video because like everyone shows like throughout the song they're showing like their dirty little secrets. I'm like that is so clever. Like obviously it's like exactly what you would think, but it's just so good.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm moved." Like I am moved by this. Okay. Name a favorite song from an album with great cover artwork. I also love cover art, but
I'm obsessed with cover art. Oh my God. Her cover artwork. You know how the great Deep and Chris Anthony has an album called Boogie Woogie, and the cover art is literally so good. It's Boogie Woogie is the name of his bunny.
mm-hmm.
And so the cover art is like him and like an animation of his bunny. And it's so
Yeah.
cute and I love it so much. It's so good.
Oh my God, I'm gonna look that up after this. So do you have a favorite song from that?
I Shake That Ass is really, really good.
I like that
Really
title too.
good.
Okay, and then last one. What is one of your all-time favorite songs? That's always a hard one, but I like to know people's answers.
All-time favorite songs. Um, Honestly, maybe like second album 1975, maybe like Change of Heart or
Yeah.
something like that. I can't really pick the song of that record, but I pretty much exclusively listened to that record for like 3 years in a row. So I feel like it's probably something off of there.
Yeah, no, I can definitely agree. Have you seen them live?
Yeah, I've seen them twice, I think. Both times are really good.
Yeah.
So obviously they're
I like
great.
I don't cry often at shows, but for some reason, every time I see
Oh my
them,
God.
I cry. I don't
Oh
know
no,
why.
I've seen them 3 times, and they did If I Believe You on like the second time that I saw them. And that was whew.
Yeah.
And then I saw the third time they did I Couldn't Be More in Love, and I was like literally just screams.
Tears. I always cry if they do Me. Like that song gets me every
Oh,
time.
I've never seen them do Me.
Oh my god, I think they've done it twice. Like I've heard a couple like rare ones live. I remember I saw them at Madison Square Garden for the I Like It When You Sleep tour, and they
Hmm.
did Me there. They also did Ballad of Me in My Brain, which I love that song. It's probably my top 10. I literally love that song so much. So I
So
cried during that one because I was like, this is the only song I wanted them to play. I'm so happy.
good.
uh, and then I heard like Medicine and Paris, that was crazy. I
Oh
could
my god.
not believe they actually played that one. So
I took my mom, we went to go see them in Montreal, and like Paris was like her favorite song off of that record, and they didn't play it. It felt
that
so
was
bad.
rare. Like I think that's my dad's favorite too from that album.
Uh-huh.
And he was there when they played it because I got him into the 1975, and now he's like a bigger fan than me. It's crazy. But they played it and he was with me and he was like, oh my god, they finally played it, because we had seen them like I think 3 times maybe before that. But
Oh
that
my
was exciting.
god.
Yeah, that was exciting because that's a rare one. They don't always play that. Now that they have so much music, it's like I wish they would play
I
like a
honestly
show.
don't know. I don't know how people do shows when they get on like album 6.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know,
either.
like
Like, how do you pick?
you have so many songs. Like I just no, I don't know.
No, I feel the same way. I'm like, and it always makes me sad because I'm like, they're never gonna play all the songs I want to hear. It's just,
I know.
but so that was my little song association game. To finish up the episode, I like to kind of plug my current favorites and like ask your current favorites, whether that's like a song, album, artist, that kind of thing. So
Mhm.
if you have any, let me know.
I'm really into this artist Noli right now. He's really great. I've been listening to his EP like pretty much on repeat. A duo called The Accents, and my friends are from Toronto, and they're so good. I love them. By Noli, I think "Not My Life" is amazing. It's so feel good. Very like it's kind of like R&B 1975.
Mm, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's just good vibes.
I guess my favorite song right now is probably Dirty Little Secret, let's be honest. Like I've been like going on like a deep dive of like my middle school like music taste and just listening to a lot of those like angsty songs from that time. So I still love that song. I also have been listening to Vince Staples' album Big Fish Theory. It's a great album. Just I've been revisiting. And I have to talk about Sophie for a second because I am so
Oh
upset
yeah.
about that. And I just want to say, anyone who's listening to this, if you have not listened to Sophie's music or done a little deep dive, please check her music out. She was like
So
an
amazing.
amazing producer and innovator, and I am so sad to see her gone so young. Like
Yep.
it's just so sad. So if you
There's
have not listened to Sophie,
honestly not an artist that I know that isn't influenced by her and her
absolutely,
music.
yeah, yeah, it's so sad. So anyone listening, check out Sophie because her impact will be felt for years coming. Like her music it influenced a new era of pop music and it will continue to. So
Hmm.
Sophie, we love you. Oh my god, I'm so sad.
I know.
uh okay, so with all of that being said, everyone, you should also be streaming ELIO's music. New EP, Can You Hear Me Now? It's amazing. I love it. So you should all be streaming that. And where can we find you on social media?
I'm at elio.irl on Instagram and then at elioirl on Twitter. And that's pretty much all. I have TikTok, but I almost never post. But I think it's at elioirl as well. Um, yeah, I'm mostly on Instagram.
Sorry if I'm saying Elio wrong. It's my accent. my
Oh,
my
it's
dialect.
fine. I'm not particular on any
Okay.
of
Just
that.
making sure. I'm like, oh my god, did I say it wrong this whole time? Great. Okay, so yes, and you can follow Both Sides of the Barricade on Instagram at Both Sides of the Barricade. You can follow us on Twitter at BSOTB Pod, the acronym and then pod. We're on Facebook, Both Sides of the Barricade. My Instagram and Twitter are JTaylorLDR. This episode will be available on Spotify and iTunes. You can watch it on YouTube. Please follow, subscribe, like, download, rate, comment, all of that. Thank you, Elio, for being on. I really
Thanks
appreciate
for
your
having
time.
me.
And we will see you guys next week with another episode. So thank you. Good night. Bye.
Bye.